Now, it's already been decided that Dr. Destructo will go first. So, let's finally get it started. The first match of round 1. Show us what you're made of. Dr. Destructo, we'll start off with you. So, answer us these questions. How are you... Well, actually, I think we should start off... Completely jump the gun. My bad. Can you explain your power to Lawyer?
Have to?
Yes, you have to.
Nah. I can shoot beams at things, and the beam so happens to destroy them, so to speak. So, going further into detail with that. You wish me to elaborate more?
A little bit more.
I can shoot beams at things. It rips them in half. That is what you gave me.
Always?
Yes, they always rip whatever it hits in half.
Are they rays of light?
Energy beams, yes.
All right, I see. I shall go next. My ability is... One second, I wrote it down somewhere. Just let me... One second. I almost had it in my head, then I know it's something. Recoil.
Recoil.
I almost said reject. Oh, I'm so dumb. Anyways, I'm sorry. I have recoil. Any and every single time you use your ability, I can cause you to have incredible recoil because of your ability. Just by using it. Even if you don't have any recoil currently, I can make it happen. I can make any form of recoil increase as much as I possibly can, and that's most of my ability.
Hold up. Yeah, don't worry. I also take a look at your ability here. I have it here.
Can you only cause recoil to other power users?
Lawyer's power was a bit confusing each time we restarted. So, pretty much...
Wait, did it change?
No, I'm gonna explain it more so he understands it more clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, if you use your power, Lawyer can cause immense pain to you, and it will hurt.
I don't physically move?
No, you just take damage, because you can't... if you cause... Yes?
Yeah, our previous match that I did, that was an aspect, and then it's confusing. I don't know. My ability is called recoil. You would expect, maybe.
This is the second part of Lawyer's power.
Oh.
He increases existing recoil. When you punch a wall, there is force going towards the wall, and force of the wall pushing you back. Essentially, he can amp either of those forces. If he amps your fist, then he can cause your fist to shoot through the wall. If he amps the wall, he can cause your arm to blow out.
And he only causes to enemies.
Yes, Lawyer cannot affect himself.
Oh, thank fucking God. I would have been done for.
That would have been so... I wish I could use it to myself.
In a swimming match? Ooh.
Yeah, honestly though, I would love to have... There's so many things I could do if I could amp myself or de-amp myself, but nope. It just...
But keep in mind, you're also... an obstacle that will be in your way is Juggernaut. Juggernaut's ability is he can extend his limbs and basically go gadget extend. Normally you'd think, okay, that's not exactly too useful in a swimming match. Whenever he extends his limbs, the ends of his limbs turn into almost kind of like a shield or cup shape. Juggernaut has used this ability on water mobility, and since he is in the All-Star match, we are giving him more leeway than the contestants. That's what happens.
Is he just focusing to beat us in this race, or is he focusing to stop us?
To stop you. Juggernaut
No.
can easily traverse the water by skating, essentially. And he can
Oh,
also
geez.
Go Gadget punch the hell out of you guys. Juggernaut was one of the strongest fighters and was about to win Super Tournament Season 1 if he did not if he showed up to the last matches.
The number one enemy time management.
So, this will be a great opportunity for you guys to demo your powers in this first match. Dr. Destructo, it's time. Let's ask you the first question. How are you going to use your power to complete this objective?
The race in general?
Yep, the race in general.
Hmm.
Lawyer, keep in mind, you can
do I
always...
have anything on me?
No, we assume you have no gear. Just normal standard attire. Lawyer, you are allowed to chime in whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can interrupt each other, pretty much, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, we'll just
Is there
say you
anything,
have a Speedo, goggles, and a cap on.
Anything around me in the water?
Wowda.
Juggernaut.
I mean, fish
How
and
deep
Juggernaut
is the water?
standing there.
Wait,
It is the
How
ocean.
far away are we from each other?
It's deep.
How far you are away from each other? I'd say a good couple yards. You guys don't start off like hella far from each other.
Okay.
All right. Like classic.
Is
normal
Lawyer also near me?
Yes, like if he's close to you, you're close to him.
Okay, I put Lawyer in between me and Juggernaut.
Well,
Oh, that is a decision. Is he in between us? I think Juggernaut.
Well, he
could
is
be
now.
between us.
Juggernaut,
Fair race.
Juggernaut basically will not have a position to worry about. Juggernaut's mobility
he
in the
moves so
water
fast.
is Juggernaut's mobility in the water is greater than his mobility on land.
Oh,
And his mobility on land
Oh.
is pretty good, if I remember, right, Golden?
I suppose I just started
Yes,
spinning.
his
I just
mobility
started
was very
swimming.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Destructo?
Also, is my
I
mic
started
still
swimming.
staticky?
Just
Your
get a
mic.
head start.
just
Your
a
mic.
tiny bit.
A little bit staticky.
Man.
One thing to know, you can interrupt each other. When the judges talk, try your best to keep down.
Yes, sir.
Just in general, I'm not talking like pointing anything out. But either way, Destructo, carry it away.
I start swimming forward.
Alright, is there any way that you can use your power or anything? Because if you say you swim forward, Lawyers is while I swim forward.
I swim forward. I don't really have an option.
Are
Okay,
we starting off of a wall or a just ocean?
it's just you're in the ocean.
Wow.
So it just like airdropped into the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Is that all you can think of, Destructo?
Yeah, I'm not using my power at the moment.
Alright then.
Unless, wait, am I just allowed to kill Lawyer?
That is the next question.
Oh,
Alright. Lawyer. Sorry about that.
All right. I'm going to ask if this is possible. You said that I could amp, like, if someone hit a wall, I could amp the wall and make the recoil on them greater.
Yes.
Could I possibly do this to the water?
Yes, you can.
Not just only for them.
Explain.
I would start more around. Okay, are we all even to start with, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to assume that I'm going to cause the recoil in like a square area.
You can
So I would-
cause recoil in a decent sized area in the water, but it's not massive.
Yeah, yes, I was gonna say. Like, I'm not gonna say the entire ocean is now recoil. But I would like to say, I'd like to recoil the water around their position specifically. The moment that Juggernaut uses his ability, I would also use recoil to cause him massive pain in using that said ability.
it's a more of a react thing. You would probably say that when he uses it.
Yes, it's like taking a reaction.
Well, he hasn't
Yeah,
used it yet, so.
exactly. Another thing is, yeah, are we just gonna assume that we can swim perfectly?
Yes.
All right, then I guess I can do this subconsciously. I don't have to be focusing on it, do I?
You do have to focus on it.
Can I still swim at the same time?
Yes, you can still swim and use your abilities.
So while I'm swimming, I'm going to breathe every 2 strokes, and therefore turning my head only to the left, or whatever direction the enemies are. And then every single time that happens, I shall cause everything from my position towards my enemies to have recoil, all that water.
I see. So whenever you go and splash out the water for your stroke, you're gonna send that water crashing forward towards Dr. Destructo and Juggernaut.
Exactly. That
May I
water.
ask how much recoil?
He will amp it up a good amount. It's not like he's hindered in many ways. I mean, sure, yeah,
Like-
there's water.
Double? Go with that?
Maybe more.
And like, from me, a swimmer, like if you try to swim in something water, and then something 2 times denser than water, that is a ton of a difference.
Essentially, Lawyer shooting a really big wave at you.
Is he done with his turn?
Little bit. Lawyer, I will say this. Those waves really won't affect Juggernaut. Juggernaut is not swimming, he's standing.
And how can he stand?
He's an all-star.
He explained his power earlier. He has like shield, hands, feet.
Yes. Does he has to use his ability? Correct.
Yes.
Recoil.
Pain.
Keep this in mind. You're not exactly gonna be able to take down an all-star.
Yeah, it hurts. He said it was gonna stop him.
All-stars
Listen.
are meant to be an obstacle. You could mess with them and do all that stuff and deal with them better than other people. But we do give a lot of leniency to all-stars. Their job isn't for you to beat. Their job is for them to be an obstacle.
Since he's focusing so much on using 2 powers at the same time, does this mean I get some more distance on him?
Well, this is all one power. He's sending big waves.
He's using his power and swimming. I get some distance, right?
I have one thing. That's all I can do. And yeah, but you're going to be swimming in like heavier water. Every time you do it, it's going to cause pain in your joints, and like not a little.
Now, hold
like,
on.
massive.
I'd like to refute that because they explained your powers being just adds recoil. So like when you punch a wall, it's equal opposite reaction. So the wall punches you back at the same force you punch the wall. Essentially, you're just making the water more buoyant. I'd like to argue that he's just making me a better swimmer.
He's
Essentially making it so when I push on the water to move forward, he's making the water push on me harder. So I'm just swimming faster, I'd like to argue.
That would be the case if he were behind you. He'd be giving you the tide of the wave. However...
But I did start before him, so...
No, you both start at pretty much the same time.
I guess. But he's using his power, he's got to swim, use his power. I just gotta be, I gotta be ahead of him. So.
Essentially, you gotta find a way to deal with these waves. Now, before we move on to the next question, Golden, thoughts on this?
No thoughts. Water is very hard to traverse, especially with Juggernaut just basically being Jesus, being able to walk on water.
How do you think Lawyer's power is going to affect Dr. Destructo?
I don't swim that much, so I don't really know the impact of which water can affect you, but what I'm imagining is you swimming forward and just like a wave coming from your side disrupting you.
That is essentially what is happening.
I can't argue with that.
Good.
Ghost, any thoughts on this?
No, not really.
All right.
I'd say that like just the distance lessens the effect of which it would normally be if they were like really close to each other.
Yeah, you're saying like if he's 50 feet apart, him increasing a wave isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
But if he's point blank to Lawyer, then the wave will have much more effect.
You
Yes.
said we were about a yard apart from each other. I'd like to think he just pushes me further away.
A couple of yards, yeah. And that does... Oh, he's right. That does push him away.
Meaning, the more times he uses it, the less effective it will be.
You got a point
Closer
there.
he is the
have a-
Mr. Juggernaut.
Oh,
I do have a good question though about my ability.
go for it.
So, can I cause it in any direction I want to? Can I cause the wave to go at him? Cause it to go, make him go backwards, cause the current to shift in a way that it pushes him backwards and me
I'd argue no.
forwards.
Not exactly. You can only amplify, not control recoil.
The way I like to think of this is he pushed the water towards me and then amplified that to be a big wave.
Essentially, you basically become a really big fan towards the water.
Unless you want to amplify the waves that I'm creating, propelling me forward, I want to argue against that.
Pretty
you
much.
probably shouldn't have said that. Because now
You want to help me?
I can amplify my own waves, make me go.
That is a good point.
And
That
push-
is not Lawyer
and push
himself.
away, and slightly push away the Juggernaut, but I don't know if that would really affect him. Also, another question: the sea current, is it flowing in any direction?
We're in the ocean.
We're just
Like, middle
just
of the ocean,
imagine
not
like
near
a
the-
calm
not near
sea.
the
It's
coast.
not calm sea. It's not really helping you, and it's not really hurting you either.
Is there a direction which I can then amplify?
I mean, kind of in a way. No matter what, it's gonna be moving in some direction. I just want to say it's moving in really any direction but the goal.
Oh. So then, could you consider that I could amplify the current?
Well, let's move into our next question for that.
Oh,
How do you mess with your opponent with your power? Now keep in mind, this is also going to be including Juggernaut. What Juggernaut is going to be doing to you all here is using his limbs to stand on the water and also just punching the hell out of you. His physical strength is huge. Go Gadget Extend, punch force, shield force to the face. It's going
And
to be...
I reach Lawyer,
reach as in how?
touch him.
Touch. I'd say that'd be pretty difficult with him constantly amping the recoil of the waves.
I could simply just stop freestyling, take both arms, push the waves, and then... Or use my legs to create waves.
The pain that he causes me from using my power, is that like incapacitating?
No.
Incapacitating.
I mean, it would be if it's like 100% of your power, like maximum super overdrive attack. That would cause way more pain than just
Good point.
a normal attack. It's scaling.
Okay, my power pierces waves, right?
It is a beam of energy, yes.
So it would go through.
But-
Light.
Keep
Refraction of water.
in mind the water can still mess with you. If you shoot it in air, it's fine.
Okay.
And
like-
the waves would be causing, interference between...
It's like
us.
shooting an arrow through water. It's gonna mess with it.
Especially
on.
because it's light.
Shit.
Lawyer, Dr. Destructo, let's hear how you would mess with your opponent.
Can he use both his recoil and like the recoil from using my power at the same time?
No, he can only affect one thing at a time.
Okay. Well, since he's currently causing waves, I would like to try and hit him with a blast.
So your plan is just to rip him in half.
That is fucking kill him.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Wait, hold up,
If I-
Lawyer. Let's let him finish his thought real quick. I want him to finish his thought.
Well, he
You're
is
right.
currently unable to cause me pain since he is making waves. So I'd go for it because I can't really see downside.
Mhm. Is that all? Is that all you've got to mess with him?
I can't affect the water with my power, so yeah, that'd be it.
Golden, Ghost. What do you guys think about this?
Well,
Uh,
I'll let Gus go first. You can go ahead.
But no, you go first.
Okay.
I'm not trying to go first.
So, what I was thinking was, with Juggernaut being on them, I wanted to ask how good their recovery from getting hit would be, because I assume that whenever you're swimming, just a huge force that stops you, it'll be very hard to recover.
That's more of a question for question 3.
Oh,
But good question though. We'll save that for 3.
Hit him in the head, man. Good job.
okay.
Ghost.
What I was gonna ask if them being in the water and Juggernaut standing would be a disadvantage.
As in how?
Did he cut?
Yeah, I was about to say, did my
Yeah.
just fail?
Sorry. As in how?
So they're swimming. If he attacks, they're still concentrated on swimming, even though they still can be aware of their surroundings. It would kind of be more of an advantage for Juggernaut to get a good attack off.
Mm-hmm. Juggernaut is basically gonna get loads of free shots in.
Okay.
That'll also be a good question for question 3.
Okay.
As for my attack, how would you guys consider that?
All right. I think we've heard Destructo. Lawyer, how are you going to mess with?
Wait, no, hold on. Did I hit him?
It's not more of a did you hit him. This is a strategy that I can do.
Oh, okay.
We take that into account in figuring out your overall odds.
I'd say I didn't know that. I thought that we were like making our next move. I'd say if I'm just focusing on him, yes. I'm not including Dr. Destructo, or not. I'm not including Juggernaut in this, am I?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then yeah, I rest my case. That's it.
All right, Lawyer. How
All right,
how would you mess with him?
Well, I believe that the constant waves would be very, very unsettling to anyone swimming. Even if the wave is going just sideways, that messes up your stroke. I can tell you, as a swimmer, I'd swim every day in calm water. If it were like anything aside from calm, I would be messed up completely. If you've ever swam like with a wave, are you gonna have you ever swam parallel with a wave? You would be pushed more by the wave than swimming. It would mess up your stance. Crap, what was the word for it? It would mess up your
Form.
form.
I
Yes,
was
that's
gonna
it.
say formation.
Technique. Yes, it would mess up your technique. It would definitely breathing, because if I push a wave, that wave is going to smack against the body, therefore causing them to choke up or to possibly get water in their lungs. They try to breathe, and that could get water in their lungs, which is so annoying, I swear. I have to stop. If I get water in my lungs, I have to stop and cough it out immediately, because it's that unpleasant.
And also keep in mind, your powers will naturally kill a normal person. It's just that since you all are heroes, you have a little bit more leeway in terms of like realistics. Like if you get chucked off a building, you're not going to go splat. You're going to get hurt. Like Lawyer, for instance, if Lawyer was doing this wave thing against someone else, like a regular person, they would instantly drown. But since Dr. Destructo is a contestant, he is given more leeway, which is why he's managing to tread water. But he's still got a pretty good point. This does mess with him pretty bad. Golden Ghost, I want your thoughts on this.
Treading with water is very unpredicting with what it can do. Like,
I don't really know.
I do have to say, for Dr. Destructo, you, your power is to emit like light beams and could basically rip anything in half.
Yes.
Is it just like a constant stream of light, or is it kind of like I shot a bullet from a laser gun?
Okay, they can travel at the speed at which an average adult male would throw a baseball.
Laser gun.
How could you throw? Well, are we gonna say?
And it's just about the
never mind.
speed, not that I actually have form of that. I can shoot it from my hand at that speed.
Yep, the
You know,
forecasting
pro
limbs
athletes
are
can
the
throw at
hand.
90.
The forecasting limbs are the hands and feet.
My question with you is, how are you gonna combat the water when using this said power? Because if I remember how light works in water, water will disperse light.
Exactly.
Not disperse, maybe refract.
Both.
But it's only refracting it in such a way that I only have to aim for where I see his body in the water.
Okay.
He's got a decent point there. While water will mess with his trajectory and all that, it's not gonna mess with it too bad. Like if he was underwater and shot it, that's so much water it has to travel through. But I've kind of been assuming all of you have been shooting this when you're surfaced, or like you maybe stop and shoot, or maybe like while you're mid thing you can turn and get one real quick shot out. The water it'll travel through will be fairly minimal and won't mess up too much of everything, unless the distance was increased.
Which I would have to say, pushing water away from him would also increase the distance.
You got a good point there. Ghost, I want to hear.
Sorry.
I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Ghost, what do you think? You think that lawyer can push Dr. Destructo away far enough to where it'll mess with his aim with these waves?
Well, it kind of depends on where Destructo is concentrating at. If he's trying to concentrating on swimming, or if he's trying to concentrate on aiming.
Let's assume he's concentrating on aiming since he is firing a shot.
Okay,
Like,
well then, his aim would kind of be messed with because he's already getting pushed.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to.
You wouldn't have that concentration that everyone would normally have during swimming if he's getting pushed by a wave already.
He's got a good point on that. What I'm going to add to that is I really don't think, while it is increasing the distance, I don't think it increases the distance a lot. Lawyer isn't making tidal waves that are smooshing Dr. Destructo everywhere. These are just the waves that splash from him entering and exiting the water with each stroke. I mean,
That means it's without me forcibly trying to do it. If I tried to like make a giant wave with both my hands, it could possibly be bigger, is what you're saying?
What I'm saying is what you're shooting right now is not really gonna shove Dr. Destructo away. And if you really had to shoot out a huge wave, you'd need a bigger starting wave to amplify. You know, we'd need to drop a boulder in the ocean and have you amplify those waves.
For a tsunami?
For like something to shove him as far as you're thinking.
So if
Alright.
Lawyer could make a bigger wave, it would mess more with Destructo's aim. He wouldn't be able to clearly get a shot off.
Yep, but I don't really think that these waves, just from entering and exiting water, are enough to throw him that far.
That's true.
I would like to argue that range would only affect my aim because I don't really have a range. The beam goes far.
Beam does go far. It does have a range, but you guys are pretty close. Range don't matter really here.
I think it's a non-issue.
Yep.
Not to mention, the more the tidal waves are used, the less effective they are because of the distance that it's being
Well,
pushed on.
if it's not pushing them that much, then it shouldn't really affect that much.
Yeah, so if it was only a light wave, Destructo could get a good hit off.
Well, pretty much I think what he means by that is, at first the waves are going to mess with him for sure, because they're closer. But as time goes on, these waves will get weaker. So, now we are moving on to question 3, Ghost, Golden. These are where your questions come in. So, we're on to question 3. This is the last part. After this, the judges deliberate.
Okay.
So, Dr. Destructo, we're starting with you as always. How do you counter your opponent's tomfoolery in a way? Pretty much, how are you gonna stop Lawyer's waves coming at you?
I think this issue fixes itself. He just pushes me away to where the waves will stop hitting me, and then I can take my time to hit him. Like, the further away I am, I'd say the easier it would be to hit him, because I'm not getting interrupted as much.
You've got a good point there. Now, keep in mind, for damaging powers like yours, it's not I shoot Lawyer, now he's ripped in half. You're gonna be slowly ripping apart parts of him over time.
Well, I'd aim for his legs.
Aim for the legs, got it. That seems pretty good. This would have been something more to add in the second part, because this is how you're messing with him.
Sorry.
Where did Lawyer go? Oh, there he is. But that would have been something to add more in the second part, but for sure, yeah. Shooting the part, ripping apart Lawyer's legs, making it really hard to swim. This, for me, puts you back in the racing, because you really need your legs to swim. But, so that's something good that Lawyer will have to think of on his. But for you, how do you stop Lawyer's splooshy sploosh, other than just waiting it out?
Yeah, I can just take a dive under the water to avoid the big waves.
It travels
Swimming.
throughout the entire water.
I mean, you hit a big wave, you can just go under the water.
I don't think
The wave passes you, then you just go back up.
that would make it so much worse.
That would also
Would it?
that would also affect your swimming, because it's not that easy to keep that momentum. Like,
I'd say a
you're
lot of
like
people can
switch
swim
rope-
faster underwater than they do on the surface.
Not professional. Professional swimming is definitely above.
But
I mean, we're pretty.
You're more susceptible to tomfoolery underwater than on the surface.
yes, thank you,
Yeah, but
Golden.
I can't get hit with a wave underwater.
No, you can. That's why I'm saying it makes it so much worse.
How does a wave exist underwater?
Waves exist underwater.
Yeah.
Wave is like when
Well,
water
also, this
goes
race-
above the water.
This race should be about 5 minutes long. So
Okay, well,
knowing this is how it.
knowing that, I would just consider it a non-issue. Let the problem solve itself.
All right, let the problem solve itself. And to answer
just
that
AOA.
question,
Not that
question
big.
about diving underwater, Lawyer amplifies the shock wave essentially of him splashing. It's gonna travel throughout the wave. You being on you being the air essentially makes it half as effective. If you go underneath, if you've ever seen like huge currents push and pull, you are absolutely useless if you're completely underwater. That's why whenever heavy currents are out there, you have to do your best to stay above water. Otherwise, you will kill yourself.
Do you want me to do anything about Juggernaut?
Yes, that is the next thing I wanted to ask. How do you deal with Juggernaut? Juggernaut is standing on the water, just ora, punching the hell out of you.
I aim for his feet shields, kind of knock him into the water.
I hope that, I can't stand, I can't punch.
Yeah, if I hit his feet shield, he probably won't be able to hit me as much.
That's pretty good.
he would be off balanced.
That would be pretty good. That would knock him out. That would.
Assuming Lawyer is to my right, I would aim for Juggernaut's right foot, kind of push him so he would fall towards Lawyer.
Yeah,
All right.
that if he falls towards me, I could amplify that wave to push me forward.
All right.
Yeah, but you'd also have a man whacking you in the head with fucking hand shields.
Not if I go under and use the underwave to push me even farther.
Whack.
Dude.
That might be a little bit harder to control, Lawyer, because at that point you've got to worry about a little bit more of the X, Y, and Z dimension other than just straightforward. But for right now, that works pretty well, Destructo, you know? Messing with Juggernaut's feet will mess with his ability to stand, therefore he cannot hit you as well. Let's hear Lawyer. Lawyer, how are you going to counter him shooting you in the leg?
Alright. Him shooting me in the leg first. So when it's ripped in half, am I bleeding?
Yes. I assume
Alright,
if I rip your
alright.
leg in half, it will bleed.
I'd be completely honest. If he hit me, I'd pretty much die. Legs are very important to swimming. Also, do you know how much blood I lose?
You would
Like-
lose a lot. However, since you are heroes, we do give you the ability to last long enough for the challenge. And remember, Dr.
Oh,
Destructo...
last long enough for the challenge?
well, at least last long enough for here, because if he rips your foot in half, you're not going to bleed out in like 2 seconds like a normal person would. You'd have normal protagonist BS and live long enough.
Plot armor.
You'd have
I
some
live
good
long
plot
enough
armor.
to win, and then I'd be like, just to spite you, I die. Or some crap.
Little bit like that, but also keep in mind,
It's not
Dr.
definite.
Destructo's first shot will not rip it in half. It takes a couple of shots.
Oh,
Oh, okay. If I'm focused, if he starts firing shots at me, I will start stopping his nice shots. I'll start to cause recoil basically every time you do it. I can't stop the shots. I can't cancel any ability. I can only cause pain for themselves to cancel it.
I'd like
Which
to
is-
argue he can't because he's currently focused on not hitting me with waves.
I'll stop. I'll drop the waves if you start firing at me.
Both make a good point.
Because if the waves aren't working, if you're firing at me, right, and the waves seem to not help, then why use the waves?
Very good point.
If I hit you, I can just go ahead and keep swimming.
Okay, now how do you mess with Juggernaut? How do you stop with him? He's gonna be punching you in the face too.
This is a good question. I have his ability, one and done, constant. Which one?
Golden Ghost, let's get a ruling on this.
I would say it's a one and done with an after effect that
I would
is
also
constant, but like it's not like him. It's like a passive a little bit.
Yeah, essentially, how his move works is extend, keep going, punch. So throughout that extension period, that's gonna be when it hurts.
Oh, he's Luffy.
A little bit like Luffy, except not bendy. He's not rubber.
Luffy, but with
oh.
joints.
Yeah, Luffy, but
Okay,
with
it's
joints. Yeah, think of Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
Big spider.
But
Joint.
yeah, kind of like a one and done, but it's a little bit longer than most one and done powers.
All right, I would cause recoil on him, of course, during his one and done, like him trying to stand on him using his ability to stand. What was it? Yes. I can cause when he tries to enter the water, or is he just gonna hit me first before entering the water?
He's just gonna go straight for the punches if that's what you're asking.
Wait, can I cause? Ooh, wait a minute. All right, if he's punching me, can I cause the brick wall effect where he can't, where the recoil he gets hurt from punching me?
You want to blow out his own arm.
Yes.
You
would like
cannot.
to argue-
You cannot amplify your own recoil. Remember?
I would like to argue that he can't really negate the damage he's dealing to himself.
Oh no,
Only
he'd still get punched. It's just hoping to blow out the effect and hoping to blow out his arm in the process. However, Lawyer, that requires you to increase the force you shove onto him, but you can't affect yourself.
True. Is he like punching me downward or like in a direction?
Essentially at a downward angle. Normal isosceles triangle.
Well, how is he standing on the water again?
He's just standing on it, essentially. His feet make little cups and like shield-like things. He's buoyant. He can stand on it.
Well, I could simply just kick up a storm and cause my kick waves to cause giant waves. Because kicking causes more waves than arms easily.
That would be pretty good if it wasn't the fact that he was an all-star.
Darn it, all-star and their all-star abilities.
Oh, you haven't even seen this. Juggernaut seems to be more of the tame all-stars that we've thrown out.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Right, Golden? Fate?
Yes. Fate. I love that person.
Fate. You all would be so screwed.
I want to know as well.
His what?
You go first.
I asked his what?
He's asking you to go on.
I was just gonna ask, what's the chances of an all-star happening?
About 1 in 5.
Oh, alright.
Getting the same all-star, no, that's a little bit harder. Juggernaut probably won't show up back throughout the rest of the thing. Don't worry, people rarely get it. It seems to just dodge every time.
Somebody else had a question.
Okay. I think that everyone has said everything that they want to say. Does anyone have any final remarks?
Wait, if I push a wave one way, does it also push me the opposite direction or no?
No. You're amplifying recoil in one direction, not both.
Yes.
I would like to note if he does attempt to push Mr. Juggernaut away from himself, he does leave himself open to attacks.
Good point.
Wouldn't he be attacking both of us at once?
Pretty much.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, go ahead. Aim for me while he's punching you as well.
All right, judges, any questions before we deliberate?
I did have one that I don't think was answered.
Go for it.
How would you guys recover from Juggernaut? Like this question was already answered, but I was asking more of like the after effects. How would you recover from Juggernaut's punches after they were already dealt? Because a force being afflicted to you while you're swimming would make your momentum instantly come to a stop and may even send you underwater if the force is great enough.
And since
How
it's an
would you
all-star,
recover from that?
The force will send you underwater.
I don't think there's shit we can do.
Yeah, honestly, like, what? I can only amplify. What am I supposed to do? Amplify me going down faster?
Special ability, I drown.
Special ability, I drown faster than him. I win.
All right,
Goal
so
is- wait a minute. Can the goal be any direction?
no, it has to be the direction it's already existing in.
Assume it's just some distance in front of us.
There's just like a distance traveled meter, and once we fill that, we're good. It's like if he punches me and then I go deep underwater, I'm like, oh poop, that's all it. Time for me to drown because I can't get up in time.
I mean,
Realistically,
I'd
if
say
this... Oh, sorry, go on.
if Laurere got incapacitated for me or Juggernaut, I would just swim underwater because his ability kind of traps him above the surface.
Oh, he can very well punch you underwater.
Also,
I ain't going for that. He has big cups. Have you ever punched a paper plate through water? No, it's not happening.
I want to give Golden, I'll bring up this example. Juggernaut versus Exploding Djinn in the forest. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You remember the types of moves that Juggernaut was doing about slamming into the ground to shatter it, to hopefully pull it up?
Yeah, what he was doing,
Yeah,
like,
he's strong as fuck.
I think he was like making his leg like very high up, just smashing the ground so he can grab some debris and throw it at exploding Dijin.
Essentially, Gum Gum Battle Axe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
but like,
goodness.
This was
Can you
before
really
he
push
was an.
underwater?
This was before he was an all-star.
Okay,
but
I say we both
I'm just
die.
pointing out, if he's above the water, using his buoyancy to stay above the water, how is he supposed to hit me underneath the water? Like, you can't do that. He has no leverage.
His leg.
He has to have something to push off of.
He's
His-
an all-star?
His force comes from the extend. We pointed that out that Juggernaut could easily win the one-on-one against Exploding Dijin because his force comes from the power of all of a sudden boom extend. He doesn't have to wind it back up like Luffy. Think of hydraulics in a way.
That's actually like
Juggernaut.
cool.
This is normally how it ends with Juggernaut. With All Stars, you normally feel helpless against them because that's the point. They are supposed to bring you down, and it's really who can survive the best in this match against the All Star. You know, I got killed 30 times. I got killed 29 times. Well, you win. Just to clarify.
Well, I mean,
Okay. I respect guys.
my recoil does hurt him, but I mean, it's not that much.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, when he makes those little cups on the water, I could also do there. I don't. That won't affect the cups.
It would still hurt him and stagger a little bit. But
It would, to be honest. Yeah.
But those are both. You both have basically said how you would deal with Juggernaut, both using your ability to hurt him, and both of you have said that you can't really do anything to recover after being punched. I think that answers your question, Golden. Is there any more questions?
Wait. Yes.
Go for it.
So like, I can amplify the water like pushing it, right?
Yes.
Can I whenever somebody hits the water for freestyle or any stroke that they do, could I also amplify like the water? Like, instead of hitting just water, instead of hitting that brick wall, they hit something that feels harder than a brick wall, hit something that feels harder than water.
Yes, you can. You can always have the water push back on them, which would in turn slow them down. However, keep in mind, doing a lot of these things at once with Juggernaut punching you will be very hard to do. And I don't know how much can be pulled off.
I feel like that was what I was trying to go for, but instead of the waves. But I mean, I could like do both, or not do both. Alternate all three of those things. So, I mean, my ability isn't like focus, focus, focus. It's like, I see you. There. You. And like, the splashes are just my stroke. I don't have to go out of my way to splash them. I don't have to go out of my way to like do anything. I can continue swimming whilst interfering with them. I don't have to stop to like throw something. Do you throw them? Do you throw the beams? Or do you just view? You shoot them?
He shoots beams.
Well, I mean, are you if you're gonna aim, that will take time away from your swimming, unless you try to aim while swimming, which I don't think that's good.
I think that
I'd like to argue that as soon as you're incapacitated, I can swim. So.
Yes, and this is the part where I'm gonna have to call it right there, because I think each person now has said their strategy, and each person thinks that they will win well. I think it's gonna come down to a matter of fact of, will Lawyer pass out from having their legs split and Juggernaut punching them? Or will Lawyer manage to slow down and mess with Dr.Destructo long enough to finish the race, since it is a short race? I think those are going to be the main key points of the thing here. With that, I'd like to call the judges to the corner. I will unmute everyone.
Okay, did he cut out at just? Or is that just me?
He cut out, yeah.
Son of a...
Yeah,
when did I cut out?
You said, I would like to call the judges, and then you cut out.
Oh, I would like to call the judges to the judge booth.
Oh, okay. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
We will be
I'm on the right
right
server.
back. We will be right back. I unmuted you guys so you can talk while we do.
these messages?
We will be deliberating. Yeah, we will be deliberating. I unmuted you guys. We'll be right back.
The judge booth. I
Guys,
didn't know that was just
explain.
the button to instantly enter the judge. I feel like I left a little too fast.
Explain
Yeah.
to him the judge business stuff. I really gotta use the bathroom.
Okay, so the judge booth is where all three judges come here, and we like, okay, this is what they all said, and so without interruptions, we can say, oh, okay, we can really discuss who's gonna win, and this is the deciding factor. This is where we choose who truly wins the match.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start it off with, I think that since, okay, well, I'm gonna ask this right now. Is Juggernaut aiming for just one person? Meaning,
No.
is he just
He's going for
He
both
just-
people equally. It would be
equal?
unfair if he's going against one person more than the other.
Well, honestly, I think that Dr.Destructo could win here by using his beams.
Mm-hmm.
Cause, so what I'm thinking is like, how is Juggernaut attacking again?
He's just punching them. Think of like your arm stretching out forward like 50 feet, just in a straight line. Pew! Like that.
Yeah, even though he is getting hit with a tidal wave, if he manages to get a blast off and hit Juggernaut, he could potentially keep going swimming and he could win.
Yeah, so I'm back now.
Juggernaut is. Are you talking about Lawyer? Because Juggernaut's an
No.
obstacle. It's
No.
Dr. Destructo versus Lawyer. If he were to go 1v1 against Juggernaut, Juggernaut would win because he is an all-star.
This isn't
No,
a
but
fight.
what
This
I'm
isn't a.
saying is-
Oh, go on.
What I'm saying is that Juggernaut is attacking them both at the same time,
Yes.
so they would both have to focus on Juggernaut, which then Dr. Destructo could get a hit off with a beam if you and if he were to hit if you were
I
to
can
hit-
clarify.
There's two things wrong. Well, not like wrong, but like misconceptions, I think. Even though that his power does say that whatever object that Dr. Destructo hits, it gets ripped in half. Because these are heroes, it'll take continuous shots for it to be truly ripped in half. And he's an all-star. He gets more defense and stuff because he's just an all-star.
No, what he's saying
Also-
right here. Well, I
what-
get what he's saying right here. What he's saying
Oh,
is the fact that Juggernaut's gonna be pretty much punching him down the whole time. They're gonna have to spend more of their time blocking Juggernaut than messing with each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the few times that they do mess with each other, Dr. Destructo's affects Lawyer way more.
I would say that Lawyer wins.
I think
Why
that
I-
Dr. Destructo wins.
So hold up.
I said-
why do you say they win? Let's start with Golden first. Why do you think Lawyer wins?
I say that Lawyer wins because of the tidal wave move. At first, it's like normally not that effective, but when Juggernaut starts his onslaught, this is why I asked the question of if they can recover from underwater, because as we established before, Lawyer's wave attacks affect Dr. Destructo a lot more while he's underwater. And so, with Juggernaut's onslaught making both of them go underwater, and because of the impact of the waves, it's as if Lawyer's trying to make a wave to go to Dr. Destructo. So he can just make waves like normal, and that tidal wave will go and affect Dr. Destructo a lot more.
So, like, Lawyer amplifying the waves of Dr. Destructo spasming out after Juggernaut hit him will mess him up way more because he's underwater.
It's like Lawyer said, like, the only way he can recover from the effect of going underwater is him going even further underwater. But what if he did that to Dr. Destructo?
He could do that, basically amping Juggernaut's punch, sending him farther in.
Mm-hmm. And like we said before, they're gonna have to spend more time blocking instead of actually hitting each other, to where by the time that Lawyer's already done his little tomfoolery, I think it might be too late for Dr. Destructo to finish off that last beam that he needs to fully, or just like majorly damage his leg.
Ghost, I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, so while Juggernaut's holding him down underwater, if Juggernaut gives Dr. Destructo a little bit of an opening, he can blast Lawyer, meaning that he could potentially stop Lawyer from swimming, and he could go on to finish.
And those were the two arguments, because that is true. If Dr. Destructo splits Lawyer's leg, Lawyer loses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, I'm gonna bring this up. How often would each happen? What are the odds of Dr. Destructo landing every single shot? Why was my face moved down?
Anyway,
Wait, hold up. Pretty much it's between what are the odds of Dr. Destructo landing all the shots on Lawyer he needs. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
How big is his laser?
Thin laser, think of normal, the width of an Iron Man beam. It's not that big.
Okay.
Well, maybe even think less,
well,
like a Harry Potter beam.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's going to be the problem. If he can't hit it, he loses. If he can hit it, he could honestly win because of what he did to Lawyer's leg. He can't continue.
I don't think it'll be I don't think it's going to be a 100% hit ratio.
No.
Yeah, because already we assume that people miss a few shots before they land them.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, it is going to be extremely hard to hit Lawyer that many times while swimming. Of course, he can just stop and aim. If Juggernaut wasn't there, I'm pretty sure Dr. Destructo could stop, aim, and light Lawyer the hell up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And once that happens, Lawyer would be out more times than none. But it's Juggernaut that's messing with everything. Because Juggernaut's there, Dr. Destructo doesn't really have a time to aim.
I'd like to think of this as like a fight of Pell Rider or Cobra against someone who can do something instantly, kind of like Exploding Djinn.
Mm-hmm.
To where the Cobra and Pell Rider's like on hit effects, and you have to hit them multiple times for it to actually do something, while for Exploding Djinn, it's kind of just a one and done thing.
But, so Dr. Destructo is having a hard time landing the shots. Not to mention, Lawyer's the one who can actually use his power to progress the race.
Yes.
Amplifying his own things, slowing down his opponent, and throwing him farther in when Juggernaut punches him.
Yes.
And unlike Dr. Destructo, Lawyer's is guaranteed.
Yes. He also doesn't have to like. He bring up a point where he doesn't have to like. Dr. Destructo has to like stop and aim, which normally isn't a problem without Juggernaut. But because Juggernaut is there, that's a problem. While Lawyer doesn't need to really aim. He's just like, oh, there's recoil there, magic, and then the recoil is influenced by his power.
I think we have our winner.
Okay.
You agree, Gus?
Huh?
Good.
You agree?
Agree on what?
The winner. The winner.
Oh, you guys are saying Lawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More times than not, Lawyer would win this fight.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How are we gonna announce it? Because normally you said all the stuff, and then afterwards I would say the winner.
It'll still be the same.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back and announce the winners.
Okay.
They're back.
They're
Hello.
intelligent.
So,
Hello, and welcome back. Oh,
All right.
you'd be saying that.
Judges have returned. The
We have-
contestants
we
await
have-
with bated breath.
We have
How's that?
returned. Can I get a quiet on the field?
Mhm.
All right. So, after a bunch of deliberation, we have found out that the winner of this match was determined due to the amount of options that were available.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, we thought the fact that if Juggernaut was not present, the fight would have been completely different. However, Juggernaut just being there is what completely threw this fight out the window and towards this winner's favor. Would you please?
the winner of today's match is Lawyer.
Congrats, man.
Yay!
Kind of saw this coming, considering
No, but you
this
still
is me.
you
This
s-
is me completely out of my element.
no, but you still put up a pretty good fight.
No, I honestly thought you were gonna win, dude.
Being in the water completely ruins any kind of utility I could have. My
A
power.
little, no,
Or just
little
a
bit,
utility battle. If I were on land, there's so many more things I could do.
It was the
Being in
fact
the
that
water,
Juggernaut was there, because
being in the water, kind
we-
of ruined it.
we said that Lawyer would be able to speed through this no problem. But if Dr. Destructo was just able to sit down, stop moving, and aim, and light Lawyer up, that leg would split and he would be gone.
Yeah.
And that would be it. But Juggernaut constantly being there was a problem. And the fact that you would have to keep swimming. Most of the focus would be on Juggernaut. This, added with the fact that Lawyer can slow his opponent, send his opponent farther into the water when Juggernaut punches them, and speed himself up. All of these different things piled up in Lawyer's advantage. And so,
Yeah.
because of this, Lawyer will be granted 2 points on the scoreboard.
GG, good sir.
Yay! Damn, dude, that was so much fun.
Now, Destructo,
It's-
I'm going to ask you this. Do you want to challenge Lawyer?
Would it be the same
Bro, you
scenario?
Matt.
No. During a challenge, you're allowed to change one aspect of this match. The difficulty, the modifier, which in this case is Juggernaut, or the location.
A challenge.
Keep in mind, if you win this challenge, you earn 1 point. Lawyer still gains his 2,
Wait,
but you gain
can
1
I
point.
DM you a question?
Let me finish this first.
Okay.
If you win this challenge, you gain 1 point and Lawyer gains his 2 still. If you lose this challenge, Lawyer still gains his 2 points and you lose 1 point and you will go into the negatives.
So basically, there's nothing I can do, but there's nothing good or bad I am in this instance. There's nothing I can gain or lose, and there's only it's up to you basically.
I'll challenge
You're going to challenge?
if you get the time.
Alright, do you still want to send that question?
No, I think I'm good.
Alright then tell me. Do you want us to change the C tier difficulty, the Juggernaut being there, or the ocean?
I could just remove Juggernaut and go by what you said earlier, where I would be able to just shoot him up and win instantly.
Well, they're
There's-
still
There's
going...
different
But
modifiers.
I want to make it a little more interesting. I'm gonna change the ocean, the environment.
Changing the ocean. Alright, because remember, you just changed the modifier off of Juggernaut to something else.
Well, I'm just.
But alright, changing the other
If
one.
I change Juggernaut, it might just change to a different All-Star.
That is another possibility.
No, never mind. I want to change the ocean.
Alright.
Maybe land.
Well, just like whenever you do change it, you can't get All-Star again.
What do you mean?
You got All-Star, and that's what made you fight Juggernaut. If you change Juggernaut, you cannot get another All-Star.
Oh. So what would it change to?
One of the others.
What are the? One of. Oh, it would just change to a different All-Star.
No,
Well,
something
no.
that is not all-star.
Something entirely different.
Oh, okay. What are the other things it could be?
Can't tell you.
We,
I'm still changing the environment. I don't really want to risk it.
Still changing environment. You got it. Alrighty then.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
So he's changing the environment. Would this also change the objective, or is that different per round?
Still a race.
Okay.
still the same distance.
Yes.
Because water distance and land distance are way different.
Still the same distance.
Oh.
Alright. You have changed the location from the sea to the forest.
I like that.
Now each of you get one more chance and one more question. So,
Okay.
I'll ask you this. Now that this has changed, what makes it different that you can win? Juggernaut will still be pounding on both of you guys. And now you guys got to run that high school foot lap.
Me first?
Yep.
Okay. Keep in mind, trees in the way. Bobbing and weaving through trees basically doubles the distance you gotta run. I'd like to argue I could shoot
How
a tree
thick is
down.
the forest?
How big is the forest? Like, what do you mean?
How thick? Like how many trees per...
trees? Like, if you have a reference photo, that'd be perfect. But like, is it gonna start thick, go thin, thick? What else?
It
How
will
many
be
trees are you
moderately
growing up?
thick the most way through. I will look up a reference picture right now.
Because thicker means harder to aim, which means also Juggernaut has to go through more trees. How big is he? Like, is he wide as well, or is he just like normal size, but just go gadget extendo?
He is normal size.
Oh, I thought he was like a little Juggernaut the entire time. Oh no. Oh, that makes him even more terrifying. You don't even expect him. You just like, oh look, that's a normal dude. Just, oh my god, his leg is up in the sky. Oh, and I'm dead.
That would be a good example.
Okay. That's kind of what I had in mind.
And if it would just look. Oh, nice, slim trees.
I'll do this face then.
That reminds me of the Hunger Games.
So,
That's exactly what
Dr.
I had in
Destructo.
mind.
Dr. Destructo, how would this change and win in your favor?
I can shoot the trees on my way down, so I can just keep running in a straight line.
Oh, you got. Oh, right. You don't rip people in half. You rip things in half.
I can rip anything in half, yeah. And since the tree's not really a superhero, I'd say it goes down in one shot.
And I would like to also say, now that I'm not in water, I only have one thing I have to focus on with my ability, and that's stopping other abilities.
You know, it hurts, but I feel like I can just keep running. It would just it would make it harder to focus. I'd argue, not that I need to focus so much.
It's still pain, man. Don't say it ain't.
You got a
Pain
good
resistance.
point. You got a good point there. The fact that Dr. Destructo will be able to cleave through the forests faster, while Lawyer cannot. Lawyer, what about you? You're right, you can focus on him. What do you do?
Same distance, right?
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, if he's using his ability for every single tree, how does he split them in half exactly? Up, down?
He hits it with the
Anyway.
beam and he chooses.
Alright, so if he's going to choose it to, like, split it left and right, he'd still have to jump over the trees.
But down the middle, run through it.
Well, I mean, how far? What do you mean split in half? Like, would the tree fall? Like,
Yes.
No,
immediately?
split
Yeah.
it
It's up,
like a V shape.
yes,
Just run through the tree.
yeah, that would. still like be a minor jump, and enough of those that would probably hurt an ankle if you keep on trying it.
You're gonna argue that I'm gonna sprain a fucking ankle.
Jumping a lot in like running. Yeah.
My guy.
Are you if you're not trained, who knows?
My guy.
Also, it's a forest. It's a forest. It's roots. There's lots of roots on the ground.
Okay, you can trip on roots and shit too. Your body
I'm not
leaving
jumping.
between trees.
Listen, I'm not jumping on the roots. I'm just running on the
I
roots.
split them in half. It's like I can choose how much they're split in half depending on. I just use more power to split it. I split them in half so much that I can just run through it.
If you're using more power to split them fully in half, then I can use
minor,
my power.
Rip it to the point where it would like cause a minor disruption. Like, so I barely have to run and jump.
Then that would cause me to hurt you more.
Well, I would like to argue that 100% of my power would probably split like an island in half.
Well, not
We didn't
really.
really set like a good point of what 100% for me would be.
100% is
anything
kind of
for
like
me.
100% is kind of like using that tree that you're doing, and he is right. Lawyer is right. Splitting the
100%
tree,
of the tree.
pretty decent trees. But what I'm
Yeah, but they're
saying,
pretty big trees.
what I'm saying is, using your power to split the tree for you to walk through. Lawyer is right on that. It will take more power, and lawyer
Okay.
will damage you more.
Counter argument. I target the ground right in front of lawyer, causing him to fall into a ditch. Can't really cause me pain when you're in a hole.
Who says I can't jump over it?
It's big hole.
No, but before you throw it, I can't avoid.
I'm
as
targeting
you
the
throw it.
ground, not like you're gonna jump into it then.
I jump around it. What if I
Make the
like
hole
see
so
the beam
big you
coming
can't.
and I jump?
Well, then you're wasting
sideways.
time. Then you're wasting time. I
Okay,
just
hold up, guys. First off, my thing moved down. Now I gotta move my camera back.
Thing?
All right. Second, okay, I'm reoriented back. Second, Dr. Destructo is right. He can he can split the ground underneath you, and essentially make a little ditch for you. Enough to keep you in there to struggle will take a good amount of power from him.
I'd say I gain enough distance that it's worth it.
I say that every time you use your ability to split a tree, it hits you like a punch. Now, try to run getting hit with a punch. It gets harder and harder and harder every
We
time.
are
You
pretty
lose
damn
breath.
strong though.
Does that change the fact it's a magical punch from my recoil ability? It's not like a man. It's like magic.
All right, so
I'd
hold
also
up.
argue
Hold
that,
up. Hold up. I'll stop you both there. I want to
Wait,
have.
wait, I
I
have
want
one
to
more
hear.
thing.
Okay, I'll let you say the last thing.
I also argue that since I'm running through trees, they're harder to navigate. Being as big as Mr. Juggernaut is, he can't really chase me down.
He's not that big.
But he's long, he's lanky. It's gonna be hard for him to navigate through that. So at least he
Yeah.
can't hit me that hard.
Well,
He
the
doesn't
thing
have to
is,
be lengthy.
Juggernaut's mobility was also very good in land. He used his limbs as springs to shoot him forward.
He hit a tree.
Oh no, he did. He just crashed through him.
I wish I could use my recoil to make me go faster, but I can't.
So I want to hear Golden and Ghost's opinions on this. Golden, you
I'm a
first.
pretty good pulling for you.
The falling trees will definitely be very impactful of the race. Like, just imagine, like, you're just running through a race, and then all of a sudden, just a huge tree is just falling in your direction. I'd say that the splitting of the trees would be very effective.
All right. And what do you think of the fact of Dr. Destructo taking lawyers'
Alright,
hits?
I'm back. What's happening?
I'd say it would affect him as much as like a normal person doing a punch. Because if like a normal person like was punching Dr. Destructo, I was about to say Dr. Lawyer, Dr. Destructo, it would just be like he would be able to shrug it off very easy. But because it's magical and it's coming from a hero, I would say it would do disrupt him very much. more than what it should be,
Ghost, what do you
especially
think?
since he's using it all the time.
Ghost?
I legit just got back like right now. I don't know what's going on. I thought the fight was over.
No.
Rematch.
Rematch.
Or not rematch.
A
Challenge.
challenge.
Okay. Well then, Ghost, we'll just have you off to the side for right now.
Okay.
So, has everyone said what they're going to say while we all go back and deliberate?
Gold, explain in DMs.
I'll explain
Ghost.
to you in the judge booth.
No, Ghost, you will stay here.
Okay.
Just DM.
No,
Yes.
like you'll stay here. We'll come back with the verdict.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay here.
Does anyone have anything to send before we head out?
I would like to go to bed at 11. Sorry.
I'd like to go to bed
Don't
15 minutes
worry.
ago.
Don't worry. We
That-
will
that
finish
is
quickly.
actually. Yeah, I normally try to go to bed at 10 because I'd be tired.
Yeah,
Of school.
this match is very late for me as well.
I am sorry. There was that bit of 30-minute talking before the match actually started.
Yeah, it's fine. We can
No,
just-
no. Do not blame that on yourself. I blame
Yeah.
that completely on me because I was late. I'm also going to ask if we can do this on weekends more because I will be
In
more
your
available.
in your availability, just let me know. But for right now,
Also-
Golden,
Summertime.
Not to
Summertime.
mention,
it is summertime.
well, okay, for you, not if you're not a college student, final weeks are starting.
I still have school. Yes, I do. I still have school.
Okay, but we'll finish this. Golden, judge booth now.
Boom.
Yes, please. Tired.
All right.
Yeah.
So, who do you think wins this match?
At first, I would say Dr. Destructo, but
Which-
then it got me thinking because like his main thing was the trees falling down and like disrupting his momentum. Also the pits, which Lawyer wouldn't have anything to do with the pits. Like he can't dodge them or anything. He would just kind of have to take those and keep on running. But the trees, I wouldn't say would affect him as much because like normally you would see a tree like, oh no, if I keep on running at this pace and the tree is falling at this pace, it'll probably hit me on the way down. But he can use his recoil like haha, boom, and then it falls faster.
Okay.
But the pits would extremely slow him down.
I honestly would give this to Destructo because he can do so much more in this situation. You know, Lawyer, yeah, sure, he can hurt him pretty good when he has to cut down that tree. But Destructo can cut it at a slash to where it's guaranteed to fall on Lawyer. And Lawyer has to do energy into getting around a tree in his way instead of around a tree like before. He has to worry about a hole that appears out of nowhere. Not to mention, Destructo can deal with Juggernaut much better than Lawyer.
Juggernaut's not going to be doing as much tomfoolery as he did in the last round.
Exactly, like, he can run in a straight line. Sure, Juggernaut's going to punch him and Lawyer can amp that for sure. When Lawyer gets hit, he can't really do anything back. But Dr. Destructo can send multiple splitting moves against him.
Yes.
And eventually that, like, severs and breaks his arm. And as Juggernaut said before in his fights, losing arms or limbs is really huge against him.
Like, which is why his fights against Pale Rider were extremely dangerous. Because he would use his extendo, and if I remember, like, the more he extended, I think, like, the thinner or, like, less strength his arm had, to where, like, he would hit, like, a joint whenever he was extending, to where it would be, like, extremely bad. So Dr. Destructo can even use that strategy that Pale Rider used against him. Because he's almost exactly like Pale Rider, just instant.
And
Except
because
Pale Rider did more damage.
And because he's an all-star, obviously this won't happen very much or as effective against Juggernaut.
But it'll still have some effect to a degree.
And it'll still help him. Whereas Lawyer, the only thing he can really do is speed up how fast they show up and give the occasional good smack on Dr. Destructo.
I still like how Lawyer's first instinct
I kind of got what a challenge is, so they can change the environment.
Yeah, but we've already decided the winner is going to be Dr. Destructo.
I still
Yeah,
like how
he can-
Lawyer
He
gave
just
his.
told me that he can split trees and then walk through them.
Yep.
So,
So, let's.
I do like how Lawyer was like his first thought was, oh, you could sprain an ankle.
Yeah, just like, oh, you could trip and fall. You have weak ankles. You don't drink milk.
But it gave me a good laugh. I loved that so much.
Not mocking Lawyer. All right, let's head back in and
no.
announce the winner.
No mocking.
Oh, hello.
all right.
All right. So we will announce it same as always. Normally these rematches are much quicker.
It was quite quick.
Mm-hmm.
Speed.
So this match was determined due to the fact of how relevant a previous match. Let the dog out. Go. And it's out.
What previous match let the dog out?
Dog bark, bark.
How did a match let the dog out?
You know I let the dog out. You know.
Yeah, just good.
But wait, who let the dogs
continue.
out?
Just to take the second to realize that it was Blue
It is
who let the dogs out.
Bedtime.
This match was determined because of how similar it was to another match with Juggernaut. We were able to pull comparisons from Season 1, and this really showed us how well this person could deal with Juggernaut, as well as the fact of how much effort would need to be put in to even stand a chance at winning against the other person. I think we have our winner.
The winner of today's challenge match is Dr. Destructo.
Juggernaut himself.
Hey, nice job.
Mm-hmm.
I got a point.
It was mainly
Get a
due
point.
to the fact that Juggernaut fought a hero called Pale Rider before, who could disintegrate limbs. This completely countered Juggernaut, and he could not beat him. Dr. Destructo is something similar with snapping. Granted, he had to land a bunch of shots, so did Pale Rider. Granted, he is an all-star as well. It just means that it would be less effective, and he won't really lose a limb as much, but he could still deal with Juggernaut. And he could clear the trees in his path, make them fall towards Lawyer. He could make potholes, hit Lawyer himself.
This was a challenge of utility. I felt like as soon as I was out of the water and I had the opportunity to use the environment, it's pretty strong.
Meanwhile, the most Lawyer could do is give a good punch to Destructo. While that was good, it wouldn't be enough to stagger him in the race, especially with Juggernaut raining hell on him.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And so, because of this,
I agree with this.
Oh, that's a good
100%.
point. Yeah, he can't increase the recoil he feels on himself, but he could punch someone and increase the recoil that they experience.
no, it's the opposite.
Oh,
No.
oh,
What?
so he would just make his hand hurt more.
Lawyer can't. If Lawyer punches
Oh,
someone,
he
can't
can negate
increase
it though. He can punch him and have no recoil to himself and like aura.
Wait, what?
No,
Did you
no.
say that? I'm confused.
Lawyer
You
can
can lower the recoil if something happens.
Lawyer
If you punch,
cannot.
you can punch someone and just
Yeah.
have no recoil.
He can't affect
Yeah.
himself though.
But he
Also,
would be effective.
what do you mean? I can't lower. I can't lower.
So if he
the
punched
recoil?
someone and used his ability, what effect would it have?
If he punches someone and uses his ability, he can blow his own arm out.
Okay.
Behold, a magic trick. Who can get hurt the most quicker? I punch you, and I break my arm.
Watch my arm
His-
disappear.
His ability has so many caveats.
My
Yeah.
Hero Academia in a nutshell.
Yeah, because like, if Lawyer punches somebody,
I'm having
He-
thoughts.
if Lawyer punches someone, he can't send more recoil in that punch. He can only increase the amount of force that the wall is sending back to him. Because the wall is the source and not him.
Could he decrease that force? In
No,
engagement?
he can only amp.
Oh,
If
okay.
the
I thought he could
enemy-
decrease as well.
If the enemy punches me, I can't do anything about that. If he punches a wall,
If he punches you,
Boy.
you can increase Oh no,
No, I
you can't.
can't.
You can't even increase. You
Not
can't even
myself.
make his balls.
Because that involves
Damn,
you.
that sucks.
Meaning that if
Yes,
someone
so-
punches Lawyer, he can increase their force and get Lawyer have him send himself flying.
Yeah, like it,
I'm
you can
out.
argue that
I'll see y'all later.
Goodbye,
when
Ghost.
Juggernaut hits you, you get
See ya.
propelled forward,
I'm gonna go.
but you
watch
probably hit a
Pokemon.
tree.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what if you like drop a rock on yourself and then you can just like propel it into the sky? Because like that rock is technically hitting you.
He can do
don't-
that, but I wonder how you hit yourself upwards with a rock.
And let it come back down.
No,
Hit
then
it in
no,
the
then
foot,
you
and
amp.
He would push himself into the rock.
But if you throw, let's say you throw a rock and it hits him on the head, the rock is falling downwards, so he'd increase it, making it fall more downwards.
If I hit my wait, if I hit
You
myself
can't,
going
yeah, you
up,
can't make the rock
can I just
go in that
fly?
direction.
Essentially, yes. If you can find a way to like hit yourself on the bottom of your foot and amp that force, then it can send you forward. Yes.
Yeah,
However,
that's what I was thinking of earlier. If he does that with a pair of shoes or something, would that be able to send himself forward?
He needs
oh
a
yeah,
pogo stick.
assuming like a pogo stick
perfect.
would actually work perfectly because he can increase it in leap, bounds, and forwards, or like
Well, you guys
pogo
were in the
stick
judge booth. We were
or
discussing items we could use that would make our powers better.
or pogo stick boots. Oh, we didn't even include Juggernaut's exoskeleton.
Oh,
He has an exoskeleton.
God dang it!
Oh my god.
This is exoskeleton.
His exoskeleton increases his physical abilities.
Oh, what the fuck?
God, we forgot
So
about
Lawyer
that.
was right earlier.
I don't think it
That is
really.
just a big
like,
guy.
I don't
It's
think that
just a
changes
normal
much.
sized guy.
I'm sorry,
Whatever.
Juggernaut. I forgot. It might not
I don't
even be
think
the
that
right item.
changes so much.
No, not really.
Yo, Lawyer,
I was
if
wondering
you ever,
earlier, he's called Juggernaut, but having extendo arms doesn't really translate to Juggernaut.
Oh, you should have seen him in the one-on-one fights. In combat, he dominated.
Well, it looks like we are currently 1-2.
Yep, 1-2. I am now going to go into the scoreboards and update all of this stuff. Don't you worry.
Is there a
And-
chance for a third match after this?
Hell no, I'm tired.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So this
that was
is
not me.
No, this is round 1. If you take a look at the match schedules, next up is going to be Saint versus Echo. If either of them drop, anyone else can join in.
And
I'm
even
assuming
me?
you're going to take priority
No,
from
not
people
Lawyer.
who have not. I'm assuming you're going to take priority from people who have not competed yet.
Yes, Season 1 heroes cannot compete again, nor do I think they want to.
Wait,
Well, I'm saying
Wait,
like you can't.
wait.
I can't go and compete in 2 matches in a row.
No, you cannot.
Oh, okay.
wait a minute. Does that mean if I want to play another season, I can't?
You can, but it's a
New
little
hero.
bit
New-
like
new hero.
Juggernaut.
Different hero. Different hero. Different hero.
Like Juggernaut, essentially. He's still here in the server. He's still talking and all that stuff, and he's an all-star that can pull up. And eventually,
Wait,
we
need to
might.
make a new hero if you wanted to compete.
No, it would be more of like kind of like an all-star matchup.
Do I have to
But
get
you
an
can't
alt
just
account?
compete as a contestant.
It would be different. It's a situation I haven't exactly run into yet because it's only season 2.
I'd argue that previous heroes become NPCs, and if they want to compete, they just make a new one.
I say that you should probably make like alternate make like one side. This is you were this person. You were this person.
You're
blank,
someone
blank,
else
blank.
now. That person
Now-
still exists, but you're someone else.
This person did this, and this is you. But now, currently, you're this person as of now.
So you're
would-
saying, like, essentially they create another character, and
Alt-
then this
Yeah.
character becomes just
NPC.
another hazard that can be rolled.
You see, that's the thing. I'm not. I always have the rule: 1 power per person.
Oh,
So if Lawyer wants to come back, I'm pretty sure I would be able to do that. I haven't really given it much thought because, again, it's only season 2.
in
Well,
the future,
that
there
being
may
there,
not be opportunities
let's-
for past contestants to join in.
Mm-hmm.
GG, Mr. Lawyer. I am going to sleep. I have to wake up for 5 hours.
good
Nice.
game. Hope you have a good night's rest.
Oh,
and
dang.
hope you wake up well
I
rested.
also need to wake up in
You
like
too, good sir.
5 hours. Balls.
Adios.
night.
I bid you
If-
all adieu. I wish you all the same fate of a nice, well-resting of a night's sleep.
If
Now-
we do more matches in the future, can we do them like a little earlier than time?
Yes. So when my school ends, I will be able to do stuff so early.
Like 7
I'll have
o'clock or
a lot of
something.
time, unless something pops up last second. If it does, I'm highly sorry for it.
I will be
But,
using I will be using your times that you gave me, lawyer. And
How
if
do
you
I
want
use
if you want to
that?
help communicate with me about that, be like, can we do them more than
Weekends.
weekends?
Try weekends first.
I think the
Like,
reason why we
early
didn't
weekends.
I think the reason why we didn't do weekends this time was because of King of
I
Stale.
also said this weekend my grandparents came over and I had a swim meet. I was very busy this weekend. Very,
Okay,
very
well, I think that's good night, you two.
Hold up, before you all go,
Six.
there's one more thing. Lawyer, you already know this rule, so you can go.
Mhm.
You are allowed to lie.
Yes.
In this
Yes.
server and all that stuff, when someone asks you, "Hey, how'd that fight with Lawyer go?" You can say, "Oh, I lost. Oh, I won." You can say, "Oh, what was he? Oh, Lawyer threw a fireball at me. He's got a crazy firepower." "Oh, what did you do?" "Oh, I teleported out of the way."
Okay, so you just can't lie during the match.
You cannot lie during the match, so you can really mislead them, or you can make allies and like DM each other, talk to make allies and all that
Well,
stuff.
that makes spectating a little OP.
Yeah, if you show up to every match, you know, and that's exactly
There's
how
the
it would be in
advantage.
real life.
Information
can't-
is the greatest weapon.
Exactly,
is.
that's exactly how it would be in real life. If some guy came up to you and said, "Hey, watch out for this guy. He's got a crazy firepower," you'd be, "Thanks, man." Or if you actually saw him use a water power, you're like, "Oh, that's what he does." And if someone tried that, you know they're lying.
I can't wait for
Me and
Dr.
Carlotis were
Dr.
talking about
Destructo
that
to just, like-
earlier.
So
Yeah,
you
you go ahead.
guys can lie. You guys can do all of that stuff before a match. But also keep this in mind. This is a new system. There are the in-between social media polls. You're gonna want to get a lot of people to like see the YouTube video that comes out, so they can start like picking their favorite hero or you specifically, because in between each round there's going to be social media polls. Whoever's the favorite hero is gonna have a little bit more of advantage.
Let me get all my alt accounts on that. No, I have no alts. I promise you.
I'll get my 70 alternative accounts on that.
As judges,
My 70
Make
friends.
100 different accounts per second.
as judges, me, Golden, and Ghost are not allowed to comment or influence the polls.
We're allowed to get like our friends to watch these as well.
Yes, you guys can do whatever the heck you want. You guys can get things, preferably not alt accounts and bot accounting and all that stuff. But
No.
Listen. I promise you, I play fair. I don't play dirty. I promise.
yeah, that's dirty playing a little bit. But during those times, I'll announce it in the server and I'll be, "Hey guys, the poll's out. It's gonna be open from here to here. May you get as many votes as you can, and may they tune in. May they do that, all that different stuff. And also keep an eye on the spectators, guys, because the match before the final is a proxy match where the spectators fight for you. You control nothing.
Seriously?
Yeah. So which
Oh,
means
no.
like Carlotis could be representing Lawyer, and if he wins, he earns Lawyer a point.
But wait, what if they want to lose? What if they want us to lose?
That's why you can also choose your spectator.
Oh, can I get my friend? Nah.
Yes, you can.
They have to be in the server. Oh wait, really? I could just invite them to the server and be like,
Yep.
do this
Invite
exact thing.
invite them to the server. I give them a power, and then we go from there. I am the
Oh,
power
that'd be
dealer.
interesting.
Well,
That
good
would
night,
be
gentlemen.
interesting.
That is all the information. That is all the information there. Good night, everyone. Have a good day.
But wait. One last question. If the poll is like 700 to like 3, and you look at if the accounts are actually bots, what would you do?
Instantly punish that person.
It's just a hypothetical.
Hypothetical. I'm not. I'm
Just in case.
Instantly
Just in
punish.
case.
Hypothetically,
I
if
used-
700 plus bots voted
Instantly
in my
punish
favor,
that person.
Yeah,
Then
what
if
if
you guys-
I buy bots for the enemy team, and you think they bought it for themselves?
The 5-head moment right there.
I'll just tell them that
I-
doesn't happen.
So you think, I think in very obscure ways, and things that might benefit them but eventually hurt them. I do. It's weird. I'm not going to buy any bots. I promise you. I don't do anything
I
bad.
just
I
try
won't buy
not
any
to
bots.
cheat so there's no problems going on later.
I don't cheat. Yes, sir. I promise I won't cheat.
I
gentlemen.
also have a question.
Go
I
on.
was wondering, me and Carlotus were talking earlier, and we were talking about like how spectators can just be in here and seeing everything, and then how also the competitors have to be in here talking to you about it and everything. Do we have to do that, or can we like privately message you the intent behind our moves? Because if they know what we're intending to do, and then they also know how we're going about to do it, they'll know exactly how to counter what we're trying to do.
I was thinking that too earlier.
Explain.
Like, because if he's say
I'm
Dr. Destructo
confused.
was talking about he wants to split the trees, then Lori will know that he's going to try and split the trees. So, like, how does that work?
That would work pretty much the exact same way it would work, because keeping everything cloak and dagger, then it relies more on the actual person's intelligence, and again, we assume every hero has equal intelligence,
So
common
you're
sense.
basically saying that like everyone has the split second response, basically, and so they can instantly see what they're doing.
Yeah, and we're also trying to see the full potential of these people, trying their best, limiting it only to what the hero can think of.
If I
Because
did just some secret thing and he didn't even know about it, it wouldn't really be fair.
like the whole time if someone was preparing an instant kill move and it beat him.
Well, I was thinking that earlier. Remember when I asked if I could grab him?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could figure out that wouldn't be very good for him. He wouldn't be able to dodge.
Yeah. People have done that before.
Grab him and your arm is gone, buddy.
People have done that before. But yeah, with that intent and with hiding the intent with all of that stuff, that would be more realistic to an actual tournament, which would be great. But I feel like that's more great for actual live tournaments instead of who would win most times out of 100.
This is more of like what are your options that you have in your pockets that you can
Yeah,
think of?
because the whole point of this is to see who would win most times out of 100 matches.
Okay.
And
Sort of like how Death Battle does it.
Wait.
essentially, yes.
I'm gonna fucking go. I do have to go to bed.
Go ahead, man.
Get
Can
out
I
of
go-
here.
Yo,
Go get
Blue
some
7,
seeds.
I do have something to say. I have something I could bring up.
Go ahead.
You know how you said that the end goal is who would win out of most?
Yes.
That could also be a modifier. You could say who would win this one instance if they one shot, or like an actual play-by-play. Like you could change the way the winner wins.
You got a good point. That would take a bit of thought on me and Golden's part, but we'll definitely give it some thought.
Because that's another way to spice it up to another level, even though it's already like boiling hot.
No, you got it. Like I said, we'll give it some thought.
All right, you don't. If it's a bad idea, then just
Well, we won't know until we discuss it.
true. Yeah, just hopefully I can be of some help, yo.
No problem. And like I said, for those proxy people that you want in as your spectators, might be a good idea to get them in now.